If you thought the Democratic stimulus bill was bad, wait until you find out what they did to it over the past 24 hours or so. So, Senate Democrats have this newly adopted framework where individuals earning $75,000 per year or less and married couples earning $150,000 or less, based on either their 2019 or 2020 income, would still receive the full aforementioned $1,400 payments, but the checks would phase out more quickly for people whose earnings exceed these thresholds. And I just can't believe that we're once again going through the threshold thing and the micro targeting. And Adrian, we already did this. Didn't we have like a week-long debate about what the threshold should start at, how quickly it should go out? And they were gonna cut it down, and there was a bunch of pushback, so they backed off of it. And I guess that's good for like 3 weeks, and now we're back to that yet again. Can't they give us a couple of minutes to process the complete betrayal of their pledge to raise the minimum wage before they then doing this thing about the phasing out again?
No, of course not, because we really don't matter. They're just kind of like pandering to us in this moment. And the reality is that people continue to suffer. The class divide widens. And people can't even survive off of $15 minimum wage if that even were to occur. And having MIT come forward with all of its research and studies saying, hey, this wouldn't even work if we got here. Hey, they want to continue to ignore the facts, the research, the scientists, because they want to continue to keep this class divide and keep people impoverished, which doesn't sound like good leadership to me.
No, it doesn't. And AOC is pointing that out. She echoed many of our own thoughts, saying, I don't understand the political or economic wisdom in allowing Trump to give more people relief checks than a Democratic administration. People went far too long without relief last year. If anything, we should be more generous, not more stingy. And like, she's 100% right. It's a little bit worse even than she's explicitly talking about there, because it's not like they have to do this to get Republicans on board to pass the bill. No Republican is going to support this no matter what is in the bill. And they already know that they're going to pass it through reconciliation, the only way that they possibly could. And it's not even that they have to do this, I don't think, to get the needed Democrats to pass it. I could be wrong. I believe it is exactly as likely to pass in either case. So why are they doing it? Why are they taking a bill that has already been dragged out for months and months, that we already went through the $2,000 thing, we already went through now the minimum wage thing, and they're just deciding, you know what, before we finish this, how could we make it slightly worse? How could we generate another couple days news cycle about how Senate Democrats are the ones that are choosing to give less people aid? And so they're doing it. So I don't know, Adrian, if you have a theory as to, I mean, unless you disagree about the likelihood of passage thing, if it's not that, then what is the reason that they're doing this?
I really don't know. I think you're absolutely right. The observations you've made, as well as AOC, like this is shenanigans. This isn't good leadership. There are people in need. The fact that they're not getting the stimulus they need, there's no even real consideration of raising the minimum wage. It's keeping people impoverished during a time when they need it the most. And it's really shocking to me, in part because we know how the economy works, that we do need a working class. We need people to be able to have a roof over their head if they're going to continue to work and do what they need to do. And it's almost like our leadership doesn't want the nation to actually survive one way or the other. It's really, really an issue.
And let's give people information about how many fewer people. So AOC referred to the fact that Trump will have given checks to more people. So what effect does this most recent change have? Well, according to the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, the new eligibility framework pushed by conservative Senate Democrats and accepted by the party leadership, which means at the end of the day that Joe Biden is totally fine with it and all of that, would result in around 12 million fewer adults and 5 million fewer children receiving direct payments compared to the eligibility structure proposed by the House. That is a massive chunk of people who are going to have thought now for months that they're gonna get this check, because they had been told for months that they're gonna get this check, and then they're not gonna get the check. And who do you think they're gonna blame? Trump for months ago? Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell? No, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't. The Republicans have as far as we can tell, nothing to do with this. This is entirely the Democrats. And they can say there that it's the conservative Senate Democrats that are pushing for it. That like putting it all on them only makes sense if you honestly believe that Joe Manchin would vote against the bill if they didn't do this, or if they didn't remove the minimum wage or something like that. And maybe you think that. But if you believe that he would still not want to be the one that tanks the entire thing for the entire country, then this is not necessary, which means that it's optional, which means that those who are bargaining with these conservative Senate Democrats, like Joe Biden and like, I guess, Chuck Schumer and others, they are seemingly okay with this, with having 12 million adults around the country that are gonna be pissed off at them, totally justifiably, whether, like, and they should get the money because they desperately need the money. But even if you somehow believed that America is just full of people that through this pandemic have been doing just fine, pragmatically to tell people you're gonna give them this and then not give it to them, how could that possibly not hurt you politically? So whether for moral reasons or for pragmatic political reasons, why would you do any of what they're doing right now?
I think it's a really, really great question. And you do have to wonder, what are they thinking? Are they even thinking? It really hits home the fact that we have this, again, this class divide where it's a matter of, do these Democrats really even care? But don't let whether someone has an R or a D behind their name signify or assume that it means that they actually care about these divides that we have and the issues that are ongoing. And this really hammers that home.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.